the Royals Rundown, powered by Royals Report.
Welcome, everyone, to yet again another Royals Rundown, powered by Royals Report. I am your host here, Evan Dickinson, otherwise known as Nordic 97, or Royals Reporters. You may know me by covering all things Reading Royals, Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and anything minor league hockey in Eastern Pennsylvania. First off, I want to apologize for my voice. Those who follow my main source of content, I did a live stream, I did a podcast, all before I did this, my second podcast of the night. So I want to apologize. My voice says I don't want to be here, but I do want to be here. Trust me, guys. The Reading Royals completed their first sweep of the season against the Greensboro Gargoyles this past weekend. And let me tell you guys, this was a weekend that was pretty dang good for the Royals. So obviously they played Greensboro on Friday and Saturday. We spoke on the preview on Friday talking about how great Greensboro has been for hockey and their growth. But it's been even better because the Royals went in there and they beat them in both games. And one of the games was absolute chaos. I just want to put that out there to the world. So let's go through both the games here. We'll talk about our players of the weekend, and then we can wrap up here. This has been a phenomenal start to the year so far by Reading. And last year they started off solid too, but they struggled to sustain that success. And I feel like with this Royals team, it feels so much more different than last year was. I just want to put that out there to the world. This feels so much more different than the last year was. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It feels so much different. I can't express that enough. So let's start off here in game one. Friday, they're playing the Gargoyles. Jason Binkley's former team, obviously. There's that feeling to it. They go in there, first period. Late in the first period, Alec Butcher gets his first goal as a Reading Royal from Kyle Haskins and Vincent Sevigny. So there you go. Royals are up 1-0 there to start the period. Later on then, Jacob Frasca. The Frasca brothers have been unbelievable throughout their entire start to the year. Assisted by Willits and Jordan. Get the goals there. It's 2-0 in the second period. Then Greensboro answers back. And Tyler Weiss, assisted by Ethan Lai, makes it a 2-1 game there for Reading. And then in the third period, Reading does get 2 goals back. Victor Hadfield gets one, assisted by Massimo Rizzo and Carson Golder. And then an empty net goal by Brandon Sajan, assisted by Yvonne Mongo, gives the Royals the 4-1 win in game number 1 of 2 in that series. A couple of things to highlight here. First off, Keith Petruzzelli, another great game. Petro in that game, 1 goal allowed on 33 shots, a .970 save percentage. He was awesome in that game for Reading, and he's been awesome here so far. He had the shutout in the second game against Maine, and then he also had the win here tonight. He's been awesome for Reading to start off. The other thing, I really like the way the defense played. I thought they played really good structured defense, even though they did allow 33 shots. I thought they played some great defense. That was a problem that they saw a lot during the second game that we'll get into here. But I thought they played some better defense than they did in the previous game. Again, I love the way that the Frasca brothers are playing. They've been incredible. I also really like the way Massimo Rizzo looked in this one. Rizzo's been a really good acquisition and a really good player that was loaned down to us, and he's been awesome. I mean, there's no other way to deny it. He's been great for the Royals here so far, and I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, he may not last that long down here. And that's not a bad thing to say. He could be called up pretty soon, depending on how much room's up there for him in Lehigh Valley. So there you go. That was the phenomenal first game. I'm not spending that much time on this game because the second game was unbelievable. In my time covering this team, which has not been that long, I do want to say that, this is probably one of, if not the craziest games I've ever seen. This game, and I know that I tried to lean away from this game was on crack. This game was just on a whole nother level. It was absolutely insane. goals left and right. You had goals essentially being scored. You had like 3 goals in the last like minute of play. It was insane. Final score in this game, 8-7. First off, I want to point out Yaniv Peretz, his stat line with Reading is absolutely abysmal. 2 games played, does have a win in there. A 6.28 goals against average, a .814 save percentage. I know it's 2 games played, but oh my gosh. Wow. So going through goal by goal here, Greensboro scores the first 2. Richardson gets the first one, assisted by Delmas and Kuzamsis. And then Nelson gets the second one from Newell and Borisov. Then the Royals do answer back at the end of that period. It was 2 goals within less than a minute from Greensboro, too, by the way. So basically, immediately you're down 2-0, and it's like, oh no, this could be it. This could be Greensboro's first win in franchise history here. And then Carson Golder does get Reading on the board, assisted by Rizzo. Again, Rizzo, I'm going to be talking about here a pretty good amount. But Golder had a good goal there, good goal at the end. I think it was tipped in front. And the Royals do get on the board. It's 2-1 at the end of 20 minutes of play. So you do look at that and you're like, there you go. You know, you got on the board. It's positive there for sure. The second period, man. In this period alone, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals scored in that period. So the Royals do tie it up. They score 8:34 into that period from Vincent Sevigny, his first goal as a Royal from Brandon Sagan and Patrick Moynihan. And then Greensboro does pretty much right afterwards regain their lead. Denis Gore from Newell and Nelson makes it a 3-2 game. And then 2 minutes later, Massimo Rizzo picks up his first goal as a Royal from Jacob Frasca and Jordan Frasca. Again, the Frasca bros connecting there again. It's 3-3. Then the Royals make it 4-3. Not that long after, Kyle Haskins from Capone and Devlin, Devlin's first pro point, makes it 4-3. Keep in mind, all of this is over the span of like 4 minutes. From the first goal, which is at 8:34, to the next goal, which is at 12:55, that is like 4 minutes there, essentially, of just goals. 4 goals in 4 minutes. Wild action there. Eric Jessberger, you guys know him, the main broadcaster, made some awesome calls. And really, like, that guy was stressed out. I could tell. Then the Gargoyles do tie the game after that. I got to be careful how I pronounce this guy's name. Dimitrios Koumantzis gets the goal there from Borshioff and Rinaldi. Again, I'm not good with Russian names. I'm just going to be honest with you. So Greensboro ties it. And then Patrick Moynihan gives the Royals the lead at the end of that period to make it a 5-4 lead for Reading at that point. So then you go into the next period. And the third period was also insane. I just want to put that out there to the world. The third period was as crazy as the second. 44 seconds in, Koumantzis gets another goal. So it's 6-5, or it's 5-5. You're tied. There you go. Then, not long afterwards, like 11:36 in, David Gagnon from Skelly gets a goal there, and it's now 6-5 Greensboro. The Royals tie it in the last 2 minutes. Nolan Burke from Butcher and Rizzo, game tied. Then, in the last 40 seconds of the game, Logan Nelson gives the Gargoyles a 7-6 lead up to that point. And you think, and I thought to myself, I said, well, that's it. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, that's fine. Because the expectation that I had for this team heading into that game was that they would split that series with the Gargoyles. That's what I just thought. I did think the Royals were a better team, but I felt like the Gargoyles were due. That's what I really believed. And they tied it. I'm still appalled. I can't believe they did it. 18 seconds later, we've never seen this from the Royals. They're usually the one that's blowing the lead. Kyle Haskins from Rizzo and Sage, and that's Rizzo's like 4th point of the series. Tie game, 7-7. I'm like, what on earth is happening right now? So you go into the overtime. Overtimes are 7 minutes in the ECHL. I'm sure you guys knew that. It was a goal from Ben Meehan that gave the Royals the overtime win. 8-7 is your final score. So I already pointed out Peretz's stat line. I want to go and look at Jacob Siebel, who was in his first ever pro game. He allowed 8 goals at a .777 save percentage. He had 28 saves, though, which is wild. He had 28 saves even still off of that. You go and you look at the Royals stat line. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who did not register a point in this game. And keep in mind, 4 of them were defensemen. Ivan Mongo didn't get a point, which was surprising for me when I looked through the stat line. I was like, wow, really? Those were the only guys who did not get a point. Wow. Like, there was so much offense everywhere on this entire team. Everything, it felt like everybody was scoring. Unbelievable. Like, I mean, these are the kind of games that the Royals I would see losing, where you have a lead like that heading into the last minute of play, where you have that lead and you blow it. They did that so much last year, like an overabundance amount of blown leads last year. It felt like every game they were losing in the last minute or blowing a lead in the last minute, even against Parver. That game 3, they allowed a goal in the last like 3 seconds. I am appalled still by this game. This was unbelievable. This is one of the better games, one of the craziest games I have ever seen in my time covering this team. It's wild. So my player of the weekend goes out to Massimo Rizzo, who had 5 points during this series, had 4 points in the 8-7 win. I feel like you got to go Rizzo here. You have to. You got to go Rizzo because he's been awesome here and has produced on a lot of fronts. But here's the thing. You're getting production from all of your players. You saw Frasca, 6 points in 4 games. Sajin, 6 and 4. You have guys contributing all up and down your lineup. And again, there's only one player who has no points, and that's Cam Cook. He's only played 1 game, though, by the way. Everybody else has at least contributed on some stretch of the imagination. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. The amount of guys they're having who are scoring here so far through this season. It's awesome. It's incredible. And the Royals, through these games, are 3-0-1. They are undefeated in regulation, which is wild. And there's still a lot of time to go. They have a weekend coming up here where they play 2 in Worcester and then 1 in Maine. That should be interesting. They haven't played a 3-game series just yet. And I am excited. I am very excited. So expect that preview to come to you guys very, very soon. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like the video down below and subscribe if you're new on the Nordcast Network. Follow Royals Report on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. But regardless, that is it for me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let's go Royals.